咋？借幫我好唔好啊？
我搶停架車啦！
公雞部長，拖出來！停出來！來！老人，等陣，老肉，變什麼肉？睇呢個車，大佬哥走啊，大佬啊！哎呀！朱福龍。
好嘢啊，黃 Sir！ 阿龍，殘忍！做壞人啊！求情減你幾碌，如果唔係，你俾我大佬出必殺技！
嗱，我見到有人求學英俊瀟灑嘅銀行業老總點啊？咩料？嚇！
會計。
觀眾你哋好啊，係咪好想睇睇現場情況啊？真係好幸福㗎！而旁邊個樣咧，
我驚啊！叔公你食光頭啦！
光頭啊！衝過去啦！頂住我哋冇嘢嘛？番茄。
隨時影響我哋700幾萬。Yes，
你冇事就好啦，你擔心死我啊！
啱啱同我起埋場，攞晒身份證。
お前何言ってんだ。
朱福龍，你喺度做乜嘢？你喺度做乜嘢啊？
邪魔してきたデブですよ。
可以。
有神探你嘛？
你點啊？
俾人捅緊刀啦！發口煙，死都死得型啲啊嘛！個白車先。
Beneath the cruiser. My life. 老。
CNN、YouTube、Facebook。
Yeah，問下 Willie 拉我條命。
Come on。
Welcome to DP Action Channel. Please subscribe and press the bell icon. The eyes of the world were pointed at Donnie Yen after the end of the spectacular Up Man saga. His choice of an action comedy as a follow-up might be seen as a bit of a surprise, but Enter the Fat Dragon blends the well-known elements, like the breathtaking, laws of physics-defying action, humor, references and a bit of covert social commentary into an efficient time killer about the good cops, bad cops and even worse gangsters in Hong Kong and Tokyo. It premiered in the Chinese New Year slot earlier this year, but its theatrical run was impaired by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, this type of film is equally suitable for video formats, where we also caught it. The title is taken from the cult Sammo Hung's 1978 action comedy about an overweight Bruce Lee fan getting involved in a fight with a gang of thugs that threaten his family, but the appearance of the titular character and the presence of gangsters is the only thing the two films have in common. Donnie Yen plays a bit too eager Hong Kong cop Fallon Zhu who manages to botch the two of the most important things in his life over the course of one morning. While chasing the bank robbers in the first of the film's spectacular set pieces, he completely forgets about the scheduled wedding photo session with his actress fiancée Chloe, the beautiful Niki Chow, and he ends the chase by crashing the van into the police headquarters, almost killing the commissioner, a cameo by Anthony Chan. Dumped and demoted to a desk job in the evidence control room, Zhu starts drowning his sorrow in the junk food available to him, gaining tens of kilos over the course of a few months. However, his luck seems to change when he is tasked by his colleague Xing Louis Chiu with a detail of escorting a Japanese prisoner back to Tokyo. A fairly simple mission goes sour when he escapes, revealing the network of corruption within the ranks of Tokyo police that also includes the Yakuza mobsters led by Chloe's newest client Shimakura Joey T. Iwanga. Desperate to make things right, Zhu must turn to a former HK policeman Thor Wangjing, giving a likable comedic performance in addition to his screenwriting and producing credits and his love interest Charisma Teresa for help. Also, Thor and Charisma's hot pot restaurant is threatened by the mobsters, so it provides them with a bit of a motivation to help Zhu. The script written by Wong, Chan Kin-hung and Lui Koon-Nam is by no means a dramaturgical masterpiece, but it serves its purpose to propel the story filled with a large number of characters relegated to a quirk or two each from one action sequence to another. However, in the hands of veteran stuntman and an action choreographer Kenji Tanigaki, whose previous directing credits include a few of the Shinobi movies, it does not seem troubling at all. The fights themselves are impressively choreographed with a sense of gradation to them and brilliantly shot through the lens of the cinematographers Feng Yu and Men. His most recent credit was Dante Lam's Operation Red Sea, and Takuro Ishizuka, who worked on John Woo's Manhunt and Gordon Chan's God of War. Lee Ka-wing's rapid editing style also helps, keeping the rhythm and the pace on a high level throughout. The actors also do a good job here, making the best of what is given to them. Some suspension of disbelief is necessary to swallow up Yang's moves in the fat suit, since he certainly does not fight as a fat man, but he makes up for it with his rapid-fire verbal escapades matching his hard-hitting and quick-dodging fighting style. In Wong's hands, Thor is a proper sidekick, not just a comic relief, while Iwanga's Shimakura is menacing in a sophisticated way. Niki Chow channels the gentleness with a dash of snobbish attitude, and Teresa is quite feisty as charisma. Even the disposable characters like Naoto Takenaka's Inspector Endo and Jessica Jen's translator Maggie get a moment to shine thanks to the actors' good instincts. With mandatory nods to Hung's cult classic, Bruce Lee's filmography and quotes and John Woo's Hard-Boiled, among other things, Enter the Fat Dragon is a fun watch not too dissimilar to Jackie Chan's mid-career flicks. The ambiguity regarding the context leaves the possibility for the viewers to read their own into it. Plot: sent to Japan on a routine police escort, Officer Zhu is excited to have the chance to requalify for full-time duty as a police officer. However, after a series of mishaps, the mission goes terribly wrong and the suspect Officer Zhu is escorting suffers a mysterious death. Zhu enlists the help of a wok-wielding restaurant owner and a former undercover inspector to solve this murder mystery. Review: the original Enter the Fat Dragon starring Sammo Hung is a martial arts classic, and with this remake Donnie Yen tries to recapture the same magic. However, it really is a remake in name only, with a completely different storyline and characters. Whereas Sammo was genuinely bigger when filming Enter the Fat Dragon, it was always impressive watching him be so light on his feet in the fight scenes. Donnie Yen wears a fat suit in this new movie and goes for a go-off-fire even more farcical tone that doesn't always work, but it's not without its moments. There are several laugh-out-loud scenes and the movie is such harmless nonsense that it's difficult not to just get swept up in it and enjoy the ride. Yen is as sympathetic as always as Fallon Chu, a cop who can't let go of his job, which affects his relationships, especially with Chloe, who he is meant to marry. While on his way to get wedding photos done, he is caught up in a robbery and ends up screwing everything up with not only his girl but his job. He is demoted and ends up working in the evidence locker, where he lets himself go and puts on weight, thus becoming the Fat Dragon. When he is asked to escort a prisoner to Japan, this could his chance for redemption. But since when do things ever go as planned? What's odd is that even though Fallon has put on weight, it doesn't really affect his fighting style, and it isn't a major part of the story. Why does him being a little fatter make him any different? He still seems to be invincible and never gets injured or tired. Surely it would have been more interesting to see that he had become slower and struggled to fight, but it was his sheer willpower that got him through. Chloe is mostly annoying, and the film has far too much juvenile humor like fart jokes and slapstick, but that is what they were going for, so I'm sure it will find its audience. There are several references throughout to some of Donnie's older classics like Flashpoint and SPL, but they mostly remind you that his movies used to be better. As you would expect, there are plentiful fight scenes and impressive stunts, but sadly there is some unconvincing G during the climax, which really just confirms how superior the original Fat Dragon movie was. I thought the music score was one of the highlights, as it was really heroic and added an extra energy to the fight scenes. Overall, Enter the Fat Dragon is a bit of a letdown after the superior Ip Man 4, and it doesn't hold a candle to the original Sammo Hung classic, but it is a sense of fun that is at times infectious. This really is for die-hard Donnie fans only. Thanks for watching.